Okay, so we're going to talking about the pseudo code here. So I was telling you guys that I was telling you guys about this first charge, second charge, third charge. So now they are going to be useful for this pseudo code here. Now let's say we have this our UL and we have our class name to be list. Then we have our li. Let's say we have a name, our loaded list, another list. This is another list to be li. Let me just copy it in like this and see. So you can just put it like this. I can just say name, age, and class. Just let us do it that way first. So taking it like this, why have it this way now? So let's assume I want to pick this first list here, but I don't want to pick the I don't want to take this, what's it called? I don't want to say I don't want to give this one list. I don't want to give it class name. Now what can I do here? I'll come here, I'll say dot list. Then I'll use my pseudocode and say dot list li. Now you call the li, you now call it like this and say the nth child of number one. I think is then let's give it a color of red. I'm giving it the color of color red. Now let's check it here now. You can see it will now affect the rest here. You can see if I also call this here like this and say dot list n child, if I should give the n child of number 3, if I give the n child of number 3, you can see I can even change it to green. You can see I can style it anyhow. I can give it let's say I want to give it what's it called, font family. Let's say I want to give it font family of, is it italics or Italian? Oh, cursive. Now you can see it here like this. You can see now you can style it anyhow. Now another part of the n child is the even and odd one. You can use n child dot list. You can use, instead of you using this one, you can just use, instead of you using n child, you can just use first child also. If I put first child, this one is going to override this one. Now let me put it to be lemon chiffon, or how would you call color. You can see it now, it has changed it. But don't I do not see this one is not working, but that the code is reading from up to down, so it has read this one, so this one is overriding this one. So this one is still the first child and this one is still the first child, so don't mix it together. I'm just giving you that one as example. Now you can also use last child. You can use even, you can use the end even. So you can even use this one. Let's say we have this one to have 2n, we have 2n, we have color of orange. This one should pick the number 2, that because that, assuming we have another one that have this one, they have this list here. Now why is it happening like that? It's because I'm saying 2 after 2 this thing, so it is 1 2, so it's going to affect this 2 after 2. Like, how am I going to put it? like it's going even. Yes, that's going even. Two 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 two. So that's what it's just doing here. You can put it three, that anyhow you like it. Now that's for the studio for the child element. Now let me give you for this button, the one that we use for button mostly. For button, let's say we have click. Now we have a button to say click here, click click click. Now if you click this button, you can see you have nothing to see here. Okay, with this button here, I'm going to talk about something. We have what was it called, pointer. This pointer, um we have this cursor to have, you can have this cursor to have pointer, but you see this cursor, you cannot see it on your mobile view like this, but you can see something is changing, but that's not the pseudo code. But you see this cursor that has this pointer, you can only see it if you are on PC. So you can see some browser, if you are going there, it will first have this normal hand that is grabbing, but once you now reach a button, it will now have this pointer that is pointing at this, like your finger like this, that is pointing to that button. Now this works is working there, this cursor to be pointer. So I'm going to give you different type of cursor that we have on the browser. So I'm going to give it down, but let's first tie our button. Let's say we have our button to have a padding to be 10 pixels, a background to be orange, um border radius to be 10 pixels. Let me just give it a width of 80 pixels. That's what I need here. Okay, good. Now you can remove your outline. Now you see this outline here, you see as I'm clicking it, you can see this one that is showing out here. That, you see this one that is showing out here as I'm clicking it, as I'm clicking, that was the outline. Now if I should put the outline to be none, you see, you notice it's going to go away there now. Now you see this one that is showing there, that's the border, that is there. Now you can just put your border also to be none. Now you can see everything is working fine now. You see this one that is showing here, that's showing like this color green stuff, that's just the, what's it called, that's just the pointer event, so don't worry about that. Now I want to give you this pseudo code for button. Now for this one, just put over. Now what's this over going to do? Let's say we have this. Now just change the background to, let me pick red. Now the over is that whenever you click this button, it's going to change to red. Now you see when I click this button, change to red. But if you're on computer, you see this over is just that once your mouse, once your cursor, once it just passes through this poem, this button, that's why it's just, so assuming I'm on mobile now, it's just because I click on this one, that is why it is still moving, that is why it's still there. Assuming it's on laptop, the way once you just move your pointer around this what's it called, around this button, it's just turn to red. The moment your cursor leave the button, it's going to come back to normal. That's just for this over. Now I'm going to create another button. Now let me give this one class name of btn1. Then another one of btn2. Now I'll see click 2. Now let's just leave our dot btn1. So don't forget, our button is going to have the same this thing. Now dot btn2, I'm not using over here, there's another one called focus. Now that focus is the moment your let me put down to be blue. You see that focus is going to work like this over and this thing on mobile view, on what on mobile. But if it's on PC, the focus is when you click on it, is when you click on it like this. That's when the focus is not going to tell you. But over is when your cursor shifts around this place like this, just a mere split, or your cursor should just pass this button like this, it's going to change to red. But you see, for focus, the focus is telling you that okay, you have clicked this button, so the focus is going to be there that okay, you have clicked on this button. So that's the difference between over and cursor. um Wait, so the next one okay, so there's this button style. I'll use another one. Okay, let's have another button. Let me give this one btn 3, but this one I'm going to say this button is disabled. Now, what does disabled means? You see this DM button disabled, it's just that it's not going to have any effect. So whenever you click it, it's not going to work. Let's say I click, assuming we are already in JavaScript, and I say okay, this button, whenever I click it, it should alert that hello everyone. But with this, it's not going to alert, it's not going to work anymore because I've disabled it, so it's not going to perform any function. That's just the meaning of disabled. Now, let's say I want to style my disabled, so I can just come here and say button. Don't forget, we just have our disabled, then have the background to be black. Oh shit, disabled. Now you can see it. Let me use something. Let's use white. Okay, then we have our color to be black. Okay, that's good. So this one, just know that this one is disabled here like this. Then now for there's also a pseudo code for inputs. Use it mostly for input. um Input type test. We have the test, then give it a placeholder of name. You can also disable this. You can also add this one to have I taught you this one to be read only for inputs. You see this read only, if I've not teach you, let me just go through it. You see this read only is not going to allow you to write anything inside the button. Shey you get? This read only is not going to allow you to write anything inside this button. So I think I've talked about it. So that's read only. So you are not going to talk them. The button is not going to accept any inputs, unless you only have, unless the value that you put inside it, like this, let's say amsat. So the value that is going to be there is amsat. But you see, if it was to be this thing, the value can change. But if I should put it to be read only, now you see this value here, you cannot change it. That's the example of how calculator works. So the calculator, you are going to use input, but the input you are going to put it to be read only. So it is only what you type inside the calculator input that is going to show, not the one you are clicking on it like this and it's going to be working like that. No. Okay, so let's say I remove this one, then I put these inputs. Let's just start our input. Let's say we have padding. We have our padding to be 10 pixels. with 300. Let me give you 150 pixels. Good. Now I should just be quick. Let's just, now for this one, just put focus. So the focus is just like, just give it a border of 5 pixels solid. No, 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 no. Red. So now you can see the focus. Now you can see the focus that is working here. Now you see this yellow valley, that's the border. You can just, let me remove the border here. You can put the border to be none, and don't forget you can put the outline also to be none. Now if this is the focus, so the focus is that, okay, I'm on this input. So let's say I have another input here like this. I have this one. You see, the moment I shift from this one to this one, it's saying that, okay, we are on this one input, we are on this one input, we are on this one input. So shall you get like that? So that's what the focus is for. Then what other pseudocode do we have? Okay, we have the pseudocode for this anchor tag. Let's say we have our href to be, let's just say hash. Then you can just say hello, let's say first. Now let's duplicate it here like this. First one, first two. Now let's go back to our, now let's just give this one style. Our anchor tag, let's say we have a color of white, font size to be 15 pixels, just to quickly show you. Now okay, I've taught you text decoration. Now text decoration to be none. Good. So I remove this one here like this. Now you see this anchor tag, you can just, if you put visited, you see if I should click this before, if I should click this one, you see that it's not showing anything, it's not showing anything. But if I should click, if I should put this visited and I put the color to be purple, now it's going to tell me that, okay, I've clicked this one link. Oh, I've clicked everything before. I think it's because it has this sheet. So if I should click this one now, if I go back, you see I visit this number 2. So it's telling me that I visit this number 2. If I should click this number 1, I've come back. You see, that's just what the visited is used for. Then I've talked about the disabled, the focus. I've talked about the first charge, over focus. Yeah. So let's not forget. You'll be wondering if you want to add your, now let you see this our place order here. You see it is color black now, and your text also is color black. Let's say you want to style it, this one you just put it like this to have this place order. So this one is for place order. Then just put your color to be gray. You can use any color, I'm just styling it for you. Now this one is going to work for all the inputs, all the placeholder in your inputs. What the fuck? Let's say we have the font size to be 24 pixels. I want to do something that is going to make you. Uh, oh, now this for the placeholder here now. Can you see the placeholder here now? But if I part my motherboard, now you can see it. So that's the styling for placeholder. So you can style your placeholder also. Now for this input again, inputs for this checkbox, for this checkbox, let's say we have here. Now for this checkbox, we have said it is checked like this. Now it is checked. Now you can come here and say for input that is checked, then you just say input, then you just say checked. Then you can give it a border to have, let's say, 5 pixels solid red. Hmm? I think this I don't know why this one is not working now. Border to have 5 pixels solid. Oh, hmm, hmm. I think I'll come back on this one. We'll check this one later. So there are other type of this thing. Let's say I want to target a element here. In this element, I want to target something here in this div. So I have a p tag that is price. Let's say this one is for price of 500 naira. Let's give it a class name of price. Let me give this one a class name of val. So let me give this one a class name of 4. Now let's come here and see does bfr dot price. Now with this dot price, you can just say before. So this before this text, you can just put a content and you have this stuff like this dollar. Can you see it here? Can you see the dollar value at the back of this 5,000 naira? Now if I put these dots before dot price dot after, if I put the content to be, let's say, maybe like 500k, Oh, dots. I'm using val here. Yes. So this one should be after this one. So um okay. So there's this one for first word and first letter. So let's say we have last name of, let's say hello, how are you? And we have a last name, hello, this is second. We have a class name of va. So dot before dot let first letter color to be yellow. Now this is the first letter. You see, this is the first letter here, so we can put the color to be yellow, to be first. Can also put the first line. Now assuming we have a very long text, let me just put this first letter here. Now for this, okay, we have this first letter here. Now for this one, we'll be talking about the first line. So that for the first line, that means you are going to have a very long text, but we only want to pick for the first line in that word. So once you just have it like this, you can just now for this one, let's say for this var. So var, then let's pick the first line. Now if we pick the first line, you see that our first line of this word is going to only change it to yellow. So shall you get now? So I'm going to stop here for now. So if I have any updates, I'll just give it to you, because I cannot teach you everything. It's when you want to also do project by yourself. If you see this design, that's when you also want to use what you want. Shall you get? So I'll just teach you the this one I can.